Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Split Decision. We're joined today by Geremy McKay. Um, Thanks so much for joining us. Before we get into the episode, just the usual. Make sure you're checking out the sponsors, Cremlon. They got more stuff coming on the way. They got hoodies, jumpers, hoodies, shirts, slides, and now they got trackers coming out soon.
Beanies.
And beanies. Yeah. But yeah, so check out all our other social medias and let's just get straight into it. So, Geremy, growing up, what was your first memory of basketball?
Let me think. I got hit in the face doing Aussie hoops, and then I didn't go back for 2 years. I cracked it. That's really rocking up and just copping one straight in the dome.
Start him strong. You got to breed him strong, man.
I started off strong.
So, you grew up in Melbourne. Is there a specific reason you chose to play basketball instead of footy or something like that?
Let me think. I played footy too. I played footy till I was 14, and then it was kind of what do you want to I really want to go to college in the States, and that was probably the reason why I kept playing basketball instead of footy. Because I was 14, and you kind of had to pick. They were both getting pretty serious, and I wasn't able to play serious footy and serious basketball. And the whole junior, being able to play the ability to play for Australia growing up and stuff, probably made a pretty big impact.
Right. So speaking of when basketball's getting serious, when did you get that realization that you were probably just better than what you thought you were? You realize, oh man, maybe I can take it to a pro level or take it to a college or something like that.
Oh, I don't know. When I was probably 15, 16, when I started playing and making teams and just being, I don't know, I never really thought I can do this at a professional or high level. I just always wanted to try my best and just keep doing what I could and just see how far I could take it. So I never was yeah, I can do this. It was kind of I'm doing well and I'm having fun. I'm just going to keep doing it to the best of my ability pretty much. I have a laugh while it's going on.
Yeah, and so obviously, playing basketball. Did you have any sort of basketball idols that you wanted to model your game after?
Oh yeah, dude, Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman's my favorite. I love that dude.
Dennis Rodman's the goat. Yeah.
Big bad Bill Laimbeer.
Yeah, big bad Bill.
That's big bad Bill. That's why I wear number 40 when I play, actually, because of Bill Laimbeer, just because he was a badass.
Yeah, he was.
Probably those two dudes, just the way they play, just the way I played, the way I started playing, my role in teams growing up. I was well, I just try and be like those guys. And just those guys owned their job and they owned their role. So I was I'm going to try and do the same thing as them. And I guess Ben Wallace. I had a 2004 Detroit Pistons championship DVD. I probably watched that thing 50 times growing up. It was before YouTube days, and I was the only yeah. So I was just watching those guys. And that's probably that team, that 2004 Detroit Pistons, whole bad boys team.
So you reckon because you say you played football growing up. Do you reckon there were any other sports icons growing up that you looked up to, their work ethic or how they played their game or took themselves at training and stuff like that you reckon you could modeled yourself after?
Yeah, I reckon for sure I'm a Saints fan. I'm a
Saints.
Oh no!
I know. Our grandpa played for them back in the day. So,
oh nice.
So my whole family. So I'm a tragic Saints, and so my grandpa, I guess, would always tell me about work ethic and stuff that you have to do to make it. And then Robert Harvey and Nick Rewalt, all time.
Yeah.
Robert Harvey, just the way he just trained, and Nick Rewalt just never stopped running. So I guess watching those guys play footy every week probably had a pretty big impact.
And then so obviously growing up in Melbourne, you went to Caulfield Grammar. Did that push you towards basketball anyway? And did you enjoy going there?
Yeah, it was cool. Caulfield was cool. We had a good team. I went there part of the reason I went there was because of their basketball program, because Chris Anstey was their coach. So we had Chris Anstey, our coach. We had who else was on the team? Mickey Luxford was on the team. He ended up playing footy for Geelong for a bit. couple of other guys who went to college were at the school. So that helped a lot, sort of being in that environment. You know, like Chris took it pretty seriously, and he sort of like helped you out with all the stuff you needed to do, like off the court, more than on the court skills. But he sort of talked about like development and how to take your basketball sort of like really seriously rather than sort of just rocking up and training. Chris had he really stressed the importance of like getting better every day and like working on things outside of basketball to translate onto the court.
Yeah, right. So like at Caulfield Grammar as well, you had a career record of 81-5 and captain in your senior year 12 year. Like, what was that feeling like, you know, captaining your team and having like a record like that, you know, finishing school?
Oh yeah, we did, and our team was stupidly. Our team was stacked, so I just remember we'd rock up and we'd just like kind of roll teams on a Saturday morning. That was pretty cool. That was pretty fun. It was like a good competition, and I guess our Caulfield team was pretty strong back then, and yeah, it was pretty cool. It was just cool. It was just fun playing. Like Chris didn't put much structure, and he kind of just let us sort of play our game and just roll the ball out, give us a little bit of thing, but he just wanted to see what we could do mostly. I think that's why it was pretty awesome, because we were all sort of just playing basketball and playing team ball. We weren't really running any offenses or running much structure. We were just sort of like playing hard and playing together and just seeing what was going to happen. Because everyone was like, everyone was pretty decent basketball players, so you could kind of read and react and play off each other rather than play sort of within a structure. And I think that's probably why we were pretty good, because he didn't sort of bog the team down with like structures. He sort of let everybody do their thing.
All right. So you reckon there was a strong team chemistry between you, so you could all read off each other?
Yeah, just big, strong team chemistry. We rolled around. We just played together, did our thing, and just like we just played together, shared the ball, moved the ball. It didn't matter who scored. We just tried to get the W, and it just normally worked.
I mean, that's the best thing about like Boston High School as well, because you're not like being real serious about it. It's just about the entertainment factor of it all as well.
Yeah,
especially when you're playing with your mates and stuff as well. It really helps out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Coach knows the stuff, and he like rolls the balls out and he's telling you he's telling you he's got confidence in you, that you've got confidence in like you guys and the team, and it just was like a cool environment to be part of. Really,
right.
It was good. I can't speak
about it. You were an Associated Public School All-Conference pick in 2012 and 2013, and led Caulfield to back-to-back Associated Public School Championships in 2012 and 2013. That's a very impressive high school resume. When you look back, what was the highlight of it all?
Probably like winning a lot was fun in high school, but it probably like the friends I made and like the experiences I had. Like I can't remember any of the games specifically. I can remember some of them, bits and pieces of them, but probably like the friends I have that I've got out of it and what I learned from Chris about how to be a basketball player, how to be an athlete. They're probably like the best takeaways of it, for sure. But obviously winning was pretty sweet. Like,
so you were talking about playing for Australia in the yellow and gold before. So we know that you're a captain and silver medalist for the Australian Green Squad at the Australian Youth Olympic Festival. How was that experience, like playing for Australia, you know, for the first time?
Oh, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. We should have won. I still had a grudge against who was on the team that beat us? Tanner and Jack, Tad. So like even now we still talk shit about that, I guess. I reckon we should have won. But that was a good experience. I had a lot of fun. It was cool. It was different. It was different. It was just like an awesome experience to be sort of the first time. It was juniors though, so it's still juniors, but it was good to be involved with sort of like other people from all around the country who took sport or took the game as seriously as you did. And that was the first time I got sort of in that environment where I was with people who, like, I didn't know them, but we all got on so well because we all had the same thing in common, which was like how much we loved the game, how much we wanted to play it, all of that. That was pretty, special.
So then leaving Australia, you went to Albany University in New York. Was there a specific reason you chose to go there in the beginning?
The college story is a long one. I had a list of things that I wanted from schools. Like I wanted to go to a big public school. I wanted them to have Australians there. I wanted them to be winning. Obviously, I don't want to go somewhere and lose. And Albany sort of ticked all the boxes. but sometimes things don't exactly work out how you think they will. Just life. It's just life. And that's pretty much what happened there. So Albany ticked all the boxes sort of like on the list of the things that I wanted, but it just didn't really end up working out. I got injured. It was just hard year, first year away from home. It was cold, got to -30 one day. Like, it's just, yeah.
Yeah, New York, New York is.
New York,
I don't
that
know.
New York
New York ain't it. New York ain't it for me.
No, upstate New York especially, like 2.5 hours out of the city, 3 hours probably by train, and it's just cold and it's dark and it's an interesting place already.
So what do you reckon the actual feeling of playing like college basketball was for you? Like, do you reckon it was a negative experience overall, or do you reckon it was a positive experience?
Well, I had 3 surgeries in my first 3 years over there, so I genuinely couldn't play. Well, first year I busted my nose up pretty bad and had to have sort of like plastic surgery. I couldn't breathe properly. My nose is still busted. And then I guess at Eastern, transferred to Eastern, I broke my elbow and tore it up. And then the next season, like that was my redshirt year, and then the year I was cleared to play, tore my labrum and had all this impingement, so I had to get that all redone. So the first 3 years were pretty tough because I wasn't playing and I was there. But it was good because you learn a lot about yourself and you learn a lot about the basketball. You're watching high-level hoops every day, so you learn a lot of things. And then Vanguard, obviously NAI school, that probably capped it off. That made the experience like unbelievable. I mean, I wouldn't change a thing, I guess. I just learned. It was just a big learning experience over there. You know, you're away from home, you're in a different environment, you've got different coaches with your teammates from all over the world, and you're there, and you've got to be yourself over there too. You got to try and be true to who you are, and you got to try and play your basketball game and fit it in the system. And so with all those things, I just learned so much. Like, it was an overwhelming positive experience with a lot of learning curves. Is probably the best way to describe it. Like, I can't probably say it would have been awesome to probably play 4 years straight and be healthy, but that's not what happened. And I don't want to look at it as that being negative. I look at it as like I learned from that, and I learned a whole lot about it. And because of that, it's definitely a positive experience. And then, like with the last 2 years of Vanguard, it was just sick. It was just awesome.
And then you mentioned East Western University. You redshirted in 2015-16. What was that experience of just sitting out that year, like not being able to play?
That was pretty tough because, like I said, I had my elbow done, so I had an elbow surgery. I couldn't even practice that year, so I was in a big sort of sling cast thing for probably 3.5 months. So that was pretty tough. Like, you just had to sit there or practice on the sidelines. But so it was really tough, but I learned a lot. You know, like I said, like I sat there and I watched practices and I picked things up, like what guys like Venky was on that team, and some other guys who ended up being sort of like conference MVPs, and all conference guys were on the team. So you watch them, you kind of learn and pick apart what they do and what you think would work for you, and you try and sort of morph your game with a bit of aspects of what they've got going on.
Right. So what do you reckon like your best bit of knowledge that you could have taken from your experience at Eastern Washington University was?
Probably shot selection. Like, knowing part of basketball is, in my opinion, is knowing where you score from and like how you like to score. Because before I got there, it was kind of like, I'm going to try and just shoot a shot. I'm going to try and just score. But at Eastern Washington, it was really stressed from the coach, like, learn where your shots are going to come in the offense, learn how you're going to score, and then sort of help you practice and you train and you work out on those ways that you will score in the game, so you become like a more efficient player. So sort of like the way to become a more efficient basketball player is what I learned. Like, if I'm going to shoot, I'm not going to shoot mid-range. So like hypothetically, like, I'm probably not going to shoot a mid-range pull-up jump shot. So there's no, like, that kind of gets taken away of the workouts, and I'll put in more when I'm working out on things that will happen in the game for me. So that when the game comes, I'm practiced and I'm prepared, and I've done what I'm going to do in the game like 100 times. So when the game comes, I've already done it. I just got to do the work. I've just got to repeat what I've practiced.
Right, so practice till perfect. They taught you, like, you know, take the shots that you know you can make, not shots that you think you can make, you know?
Yeah, the ones you know you can make, and the ones you know you're going to make at like a really good clip.
And
And
that
then
makes
when you're in a game, like do what works for you. Like, and if it's like some guy, like I was like guys on the team, like if it's working, don't stop. Don't try to jazz it up too much. Like if you've gone right and you've scored the past 3 times, just do it until I stop you. Like don't change it. Just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. That's probably what I learned there. Probably the most. It sounds simple, but it helped me a lot with hoops.
and it makes a whole lot of difference, especially when you know like your type of shot as well. Overall, what was your favorite memory of college in the US?
Well, probably my favorite memory was we had this one game when I was at Vanguard, and so Vanguard's like, we're an NAIA school, which is pretty much essentially the same as Division 2, except there's less academic regulations about who can play and who can't play.
Right.
So, but we're playing our, like, I guess our rival school's Westmont, and they were like, we were undefeated. It was like the second game of conference or whatever, and we were undefeated so far. We didn't lose a game all non-conference, and they were ranked like 10th in America, and we weren't ranked yet. And we're at home, and I got like the game. I had a fast break layup, and they just took me out on the layup. There was like 0.1 on the clock, and we were down by 2, and I had to hit 2 free throws back to back to send it to OT, and I was 0 for 4 already on the game, and then. But I stuck them both and sent it to OT. That's probably my favorite memory of college basketball. Sending it, and then my teammate hit. I fouled out, but my teammate hit some like ridiculous step back from like 5 feet in front of half court. He banked it in, and like we won. And it was just in OT. Like it was homecoming too, so the gym was packed. That was probably like my favorite memory. It was just that was bananas. It was my favorite game I've ever played.
Dreams are made of, you know, hitting those 2 free throws. I know that
That's the dream. That's the dream.
It was disaster. We were nervous on the line because I'm sitting there on the free throw line and I'm like, oh no, I've already missed. No, the percentages aren't in my favor, and I was like, oh, and the ball hit every single side of the rim before I went in.
Oh
as well.
no!
It wasn't clean. Didn't go in clean. And I remember I was standing there and I looked at my coach and I winked at him, and he was just shaking his head. Can you be serious for once in your life, please? The game is on the line, and you're trying to make jokes at the free throw line. You know, like this is to keep our undefeated record, and I'm talking about an assistant coach.
He's out there winking.
You hit the first free throw, and you're kind of just like, oh man, I've sunk the first one. I never look like the hero in the second one. I got to sink this one. You know, so much is put on like the second one than it is the first one.
Oh, what? Yeah, the first one. I was like, no, the first one was like, all right, this is good. And then it kind of hit me. I'm standing at the free throw line. I'm like, oh boy, let's not stuff this up. Like, you don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? Like, all you do is hit one free throw and you save the season, can't you? Save the season.
Yeah, exactly. I get that feel. I did that as well in my high school. When we were playing Ivanhoe, I bloody sunk 2 free throws on the fast. When I got fouled out on the fast break, and I sunk the 2 free throws to send to a draw. And we didn't get overtime, remember?
I can't remember that.
That's such shit. That is such shit.
Lies. That did not happen.
I'm going to get still on the back now. Anyway, moving on to your international career. You remember the under-18s Australian National Championship scored in 2013. How was like that first taste of getting into, being able to represent your country in international basketball?
That was fun. It was pretty cool. It was a cool experience. It was hard though because we're playing in like the FIBA Oceania Open. It was like men's, but they sent like the under 17 or under 18 Australian team there, and I just remember we're playing like Samoa's national men's team, and like there's some big dudes, bro. They're like 6'4" and 300 pounds.
Jesus.
I just remember getting beat. Yeah, just getting beat down by some grown men. But it was fun. That was cool. That was a cool experience. That was a good team. It was good fun. It was enjoyable. Something I won't really forget easily at all.
You were also part of the 2014 Under-20 National Championship team. What was it like getting to play for them?
Yeah, playing for Vic growing up was always like a cool thing to do, I guess. It was fun because that kind of capped it off. That was sort of the end of junior basketball for me. And then I was like going to college. I was going to college in a few months, and I kind of grown up with everybody on that team. So like we'd spent sort of from under 16s or so to under 20s, like for the past 4 years, pretty much playing against each other or with each other or training. And it kind of like capped off sort of like the send off that like we've all finished our junior basketball. And it was nice to end on a big high note, sort of win the championship. Yeah, ending on that high note, guys. Yeah, that was just fun. It was just like looking back, it was just a lot of fun. Like with awesome guys, great dudes, just enjoying ourselves, being young. Like we just playing hoops and having a laugh.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. So when you played for your under-19s team in the summer of 2015, you played in the championships in Greece. Like, what were you able to take away from that tournament? Like, how did it help you grow as a basketball player, you reckon?
Oh, well, first and foremost, I realized that Dragan Bender is a much better basketball player than I'll ever be.
Dragan Bender.
I just remember him being just phenomenal. I remember being like, I need to work. Like I took some stuff away, like, damn, I got to get better at shit. Like, I remember I got, Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
I remember got left on an island with Dylan Brooks. Like he just somehow switched on him and he just pushed everybody to the corners. It was just me and him. Like I just remember coming back being like, damn, these guys are seriously good and you probably got to work a lot harder than you thought you worked. Is what I took away. But then it also gave you like a lot of confidence because sometimes like you'd play well and things would come off that you've done and you've practiced. And it's kind of like, well, if I'm doing it against these guys, I can do it against anybody. Yeah, it's fun. It's awesome. It's cool. It's just like a dope experience, man. But then you do see like the NBA guys and the guys who go into the NBA and you're like, shit, like
different level. They're on an absolute different level.
So you guys aren't even human. Like you guys are.
They're crazy. I seriously, this day it doesn't make sense. Like how good they are. The Giannis is just dunking from the free throw line casually.
It's ridiculous.
Can almost hit a 3-point shot.
Yeah, it was a joke. It was a joke. Some of those dudes are just crazy.
And it's like I can never imagine just like guarding like LeBron in the fast break, and he's like 6'8", 280, just coming at you, pure speed.
No, like I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
No,
yeah. I won't even take the shot. I just let him go. I just let him take the dunk. I'm
that's
like, I'll get the highlight.
get flashy.
I'm staying out of LeBron's way. Get out of the no. Big. It's not happening. It's not. Like,
I mean, who would you rather take on, like 2002 Kobe Bryant or like a 2012 LeBron James? Like
2002 Kobe Bryant any day.
Bro, because LeBron in 2012 was fucked. Nah.
He can just beat me into the ground. He can just go by me and dunk it. He can hit stick pull-up jumpers in my face. But like, I'm not gonna like get hurt. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like LeBron, I could like. There's gonna be some broken ribs involved.
And I saw in 2012, he looked like he was on steroids.
Yeah, dude. I've broken my nose so many times. I don't want to do it again. And that's what's gonna happen.
It wouldn't be fun, eh?
So coming back from the US, you drummed up a bit of interest from the AFL, particularly St. Kilda. When you said you're interested in playing, can you talk us through about that sort of little experience?
Yeah. I mean, I thought like, oh man, why not? Like, some stuff happened, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll have a crack. Like, I haven't played footy in 7-8 years, but you know what? Why not? Mm-hmm. And then it just didn't end up happening for a few reasons, but it was a cool experience. Like going down, I was down at Essendon a lot. Probably went down to Essendon like maybe 10 times. Went down to the Saints. 3 or 4 times. Collingwood, Adelaide, came down to watch, and it was all fun. It was all like great experience. Like the way the AFL does things is the utmost professionalism. Like they run a really tight ship. And so that was interesting. It was interesting to see, and it was interesting to meet the coaches and sort of try something new. And it was cool because I sucked. Like, I sucked. That's probably the reason I didn't get a gig, because I am terrible at footy.
Who was the coach?
Great to save my life. But it was awesome because I learned, I got better at it, and I learned how to do it. And it was awesome to go somewhere and not be like basketball. I'm super comfortable in a gym with a court. Like, it doesn't matter. That's what I've been doing. But going and doing the footy stuff, I was out of my comfort zone. And it was just something new. And I was like, oh, nervous. It was cool to get that feeling back for like athletically, like just a different challenge. And it didn't end up happening, just like the challenge of trying to do it, trying to learn.
All right.
Yeah.
So who was the coach of Essendon and St Kilda at the time when you were going down there to try out and stuff?
I was doing it with, mostly with their recruiting managers and the people who run the list managers. So how it was going on was like the list managers would come in, and then you'd work with sort of their skill coaches. So the skill coaches would come in and take you through a series of drills, and then the fitness, strength and conditioning coach would take you through like some running, some like how much you can lift, how high you can jump, all of that sort of basic stuff. And then the list manager would be there watching whilst that all happens.
Yeah, right. So they'll take notes on you while you go through all these tests, basically.
Yeah. They both they said that I could go join their VFL clubs, like their VFL affiliates, but I wasn't gonna sort of pass up basketball to do VFL.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
do you reckon that was like a main decision? Like, do you reckon that was like a factor on you joining, like, a team like South East Melbourne Phoenix or something like that, like joining into a professional basketball team in the NBL?
Yeah, I've always wanted to play in the NBL. Like, it's what I've wanted to do for a long time. And when the opportunity with Phoenix came, I was like, cool, this is awesome. So it did, like, sort of playing and competing at the highest level is something I like, because everyone takes it so seriously there, and that's something I enjoy, because you get to be with other people who take the game or take sort of athletics or sport as seriously as you do, which is sometimes hard to find. It's sometimes hard even at other levels when people aren't sort of, because it's not their whole life, you know what I mean? It's not what they want to do. They have other things, which is totally fine and all G. But for me, I like being in that sort of like high performance environment.
All right.
So your first professional game for Melbourne Phoenix, what was that sort of experience like, stepping onto the court, like your first minutes?
Oh, it was a bit of a disaster. I was sitting on the bench. I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Like, I'm suiting up today. How cool is this? Mum's in the stand. She's loving it, The sun's coming around. She's the happiest woman on earth. I'm like, oh, this is cool, And then, because I didn't know I was going to play until sort of the day before, and then Sim looked down and was like, oh, Jez, get in. I was like, oh boy, like, don't fuck up.
You don't want to be that guy that stuffs up for the first day.
Oh,
You get
well,
for the rest of your life.
No, you write yourself off. And I was like, all right, I got it. But I was lucky. Some of the older guys on the team came up to me before the game, like, you've been practicing real well, so don't even stress. Like, if you're doing it at practice, you can do it in the game. And so it was just kind of like the thing I learned at Eastern was like focus on my preparation. So like I prepared to like do what I do best and sort of stay within my role and really know what I'm going to do when I get on the court. So I know what I'm going to do. So I trust my training, and I trust like the instincts and stuff that I've trained myself to be like. So when I get out there, I'm present in the moment, but I'm trusting everything that I've done. So it's kind of like a quiet sort of confidence that's based on preparation. So I wasn't too nervous, but there's definitely some nerves.
Yeah, definitely some nerves stepping on for the first time. So joining the South East Melbourne Phoenix, you get to play alongside some great basketballers. But like one in particular, Mitch Creek, great basketball. Like, what's it like playing alongside him? You know, is there a lot of like things you can gather from, like a lot of knowledge and stuff that you can get?
Yeah, heaps and heaps of knowledge of him. He helps me out heaps. He helped me out a lot. I mean, like any questions I had, anything I needed, I just asked him. He's like a really down to earth, approachable dude. So anytime like you needed anything, I needed like, oh man, like if they're going to cut this way, should I move lift this way or this way? Sort of tips like that, like positioning. He's been around forever, so he knows the tips and he knows what works. So you can run with him and sort of follow his lead and his experience, I guess. And that was huge, man. I can't speak high enough. The dude, awesome guy. Like for somebody coming in, like he didn't know me from bar or so, but from first day, he was just like, whatever you need, mate, just give me a yell, give me a call. Like any questions about anything in practice, you don't understand anything. Like it was never sort of like, if you muck up, he was not going to get on your back. Sort of he'll help you through it rather than sort of fire back at you. So it's just to learn a lot, really, how to be professional.
An overall good bloke, Mitch Creek. We hear that a lot from other people as well. Apparently he's just a really nice person overall, you know.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, actually.
And then earlier this year, you signed for the Wildcats, looking to add that extra development. What does that sort of mean to you, your game in the present moment?
Playing for Eltham's huge. NBL 1. The coach, Trev, was the coach of that under-20 state team I was on, and I have a cool relationship with him. So me and Trev get on like a house on fire. Like he's just an OG. Trev's just a man. So going there, and he sort of like, he has a lot of faith in me as a basketball player. So going there, he sort of lets me work and expand my game because he believes in me. Because when I'm playing there, he's got so much belief in me as a basketball player that it comes out on the court. So I can expand my game. I can work on different things. I'm not going to kind of get pigeonholed into a role, kind of like how it was I guess, like I was saying, in high school. Just go out there and play my game and sort of let the confidence flow. And that's probably why, that's the biggest reason why I'm there, is just that confidence from him flows through me and just it really shows on the court.
So now that the basketball season's over and you've had time to reflect on like your career in the future now, like what are your plans? Like how do you want your career to pan out from here? Like is there anything like on the cards that you want to, you know, get ticked off?
Well, I'd like the opportunity to keep playing in the NBL and play. Obviously, like that's what I want to do. In secret, that's what I would like to do. That would be probably the main goal. But I'd like to, and maybe go try play overseas, sort of see the world, use basketball as a tool to travel and see the world. If the NBL isn't there, but I'm pretty content with how much I've learned about basketball, the game, how much I've played, like the experiences, the friends. Like it's really been my whole life from like when I was 14. So like 10 years now? I'm 24. So 10 years it's been my whole life, and I can look back and I have memories, friends, trips, road trips, games. I'd like to keep playing as long as I can, just because I love it so much, I guess. And that's what I'd like. And actually, that's probably a good question. Probably the right answer is like, I'd like to keep getting out of basketball what it's given me. You know, the fun, the enjoyment, the teammates, the camaraderie, mateship, like the banter, laughs. I'd like to keep all of that out.
Yeah. Right.
So these are just some, we told our followers that you're coming on, and these are a couple of questions that they wanted us to ask you. But first question from me and Paris, sort of like, we have this debate all the time, but who do you think the NBA GOAT is?
GOAT? Oh, MJ did.
Last week there was a lot of LeBron, but yeah, MJ.
No, bro.
MJ. This is why. This is the reason why. It's Game 7 of the finals, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need one dude, like, who's gonna take over the game and win you the game? Is it gonna be LeBron or is it gonna be MJ?
LeBron, bro. He's gonna.
You're lying to yourself.
LeBron's gonna pull up from the left wing and splash a three like he did against Golden State.
No, it's not like. I'm not talking like one play. I'm talking the whole 48 minutes, dude. Because
MJ, he did it against Golden State. He had 50 points in like 48 minutes. He played a
Also-
whole game.
But also, in the last 2 minutes, you don't want LeBron at the line. He's like a 60% career free throw shooter.
Nah, dude, you don't want LeBron at the line. Trust me, you don't. Nah. LeBron will end up acting like me at the line and wink at his coach. One at the line is MJ, because MJ will kill somebody to win a basketball game.
Yeah, that's true. But like LeBron's hit more clutch shots than Kobe and MJ put together.
Oh, I don't.
Since I know you're a LeBron fan, bro, George isn't here. You don't have to
Exactly.
lie.
When George isn't here, I gotta make sure I'm playing both sides. Usually, like I'm on the fence. I don't really have like an NBA. I think they're all great in their own respective right, but like usually I support whoever's losing the argument. And now that George isn't here to defend himself, I have to make sure that George is getting his point across.
I just
Anyway.
he'll do anything to win the game.
Exactly.
He won't he will refuse to pass the ball to his teammates to win a basketball.
Certified killer. I think there's this one.
He's just a bucket. Well, MJ is just a tough bucket, and LeBron's probably a better basketball player, but MJ is a better winner.
I think there's a scene in like The Last Dance that's on Netflix right now, and someone asks Magic Johnson, he's like, it's when they're playing for the Olympic team, he goes, if it comes down to the last shot, who are you backing to take it? And then Michael Jordan was like walking behind him, and then Magic Johnson goes, "Hey Jordan, who do you reckon would take the last shot if the game was on the line?" And then Jordan looks at him and goes, "Me, don't be stupid." It's just like he was ready to kill just to win the game. He
That's
was
the mentality. That's the mentality you have to have.
He had the Mamba mentality before the Mamba was a thing.
I'll take LeBron in the regular season and MJ in the playoffs.
Yeah. I agree with that. I can
back that.
It's just MJ, and MJ he'll take it so personally. He'll get so locked in, and like he'll just want to win more. I don't know, but look, I can't really say anything.
Yeah,
you're talking to like a 6'6" dude who has a shaky jump shot. So my opinion is a bit invalid, but I have to go with MJ.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
In the end, it's preference as well, but yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, I used to think KD was the GOAT when he played for Oklahoma, but
I don't think you can put. That's not even. Nah, man. I'm gonna have to you up on that one. You got to. What about Kareem, man? Kareem.
Bro, people sleep on Kareem. The Kareem hate is real.
Kareem's ridiculous. Kareem was the most OD basketball player ever. He was 7'2" or whatever, and he was just shooting skyballs. Like, what are you gonna do?
People hate consistency. 6 MVPs, 6 MVPs, 6 championships, and like 3 Finals MVPs. People just hate on consistency. Like Kareem was just consistent for 20 years.
Bill Russell first.
Huh?
Also, I have a huge crush on Timmy D. Timmy D is just.
Oh yeah.
Well, Parra left Timmy D out of his top 10 list.
No, I forgot. To put him in. I didn't leave him out.
Yeah, Allen Iverson at 10.
No, I put him in later on. I put him in like number 6 later on.
You put in over Timmy D, bro.
Yeah, Allen Iverson at 10.
I forgot. Like, he slipped out of my mind. Like, I just forgot. I put him in later, though. I did put him in. Like, when I redid my list, I put him at, like, number 5 or 6.
5 championships over 3 decades. 3 decades. Just consistency.
Yeah, Timmy D.
He should have won 6. He should have had 6. But he missed
They should have won in 2013. They should have won in 2013.
Because he missed like 2.
We're not getting into this.
LeBron. I wish George was here. I just like pissing George off. George would have
Anyway, back to the questions from the fans before we go into like a whole hour tangent. So this one's from this guy, Joel Newitt, right? He goes, "What's your funniest basketball-related story?"
Funniest? Oh, I got some, but I got to think about them. Funniest? Oh, like practice, games, road trips, man. Oh, I'm trying to think. We had some in college. Funny. Oh man, what did we get? Our coach got us like. Do you guys know what chicken Alfredo is?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like real heavy, creamy pasta sauce.
Yeah.
He got us that before a game as a pre-game meal.
Oh yeah.
One time, that was pretty funny. Like that was pretty simple.
Everyone's chucking it just after the game.
Like this, and, oh man, I don't know. I actually don't know. Well, actually, we're at Boise State playing Vanguard, and my teammate's getting changed. One of the guys on the team. But so he drops his Dax, right? Like full drops his Dax to put his shorts on.
Yeah.
But he's like in the middle of their arena.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And they've got their whole support staff. They're setting up the stuff for the game later on. And this dude's dropped him to put his compression shorts on.
Oh, no.
Yo, Marty, what are you doing? And he turns around, his pants are around his ankles, and he just like front flashed the whole team, bro, before practice started. He got the whole support staff of Taco Bell Arena up in Idaho.
Oh yeah. Like surely you know your surroundings before you're like taking your pants off though. Like surely you're like, oh yeah, there's people around me. Maybe I should just go to like the change room to get paid.
You know? Some people are different. That was pretty cool. Massive basketball stadium, this dude's turn around. Oh yeah. So Ronnie, bro, come on. We're better than this.
Oh no. I forgot to write this down, but we had your teammate Dane on last week, and he commented.
Before I say something, this is going to be something real stupid, isn't it?
Yeah. He goes, "Are birds real, or are they robots used for government surveillance?"
Robots, dude.
Yeah, we got
Go on Instagram and search @birds aren't real. You know how Kyrie Irving thinks the world's flat? Me and Dane think birds are surveillance drones from the government.
Yeah, you know what?
I mean,
That's gonna
the government knows too much. I wouldn't be surprised.
They're honest with the drones, dude. The birds are just drones. They've been drones since the 60s.
That's why we're in lockdown. They're recharging the birds. They're recharging the birds while we're on lockdown.
I haven't seen a bird. I haven't seen a bird
since lockdown. They're recharging. That's what the power lines are for.
Think about it. Just really think about it.
If I think about it, it's going to creep me out too much. You know? I'll be like 12 at night in my bed going, damn, these birds really do be, watching me.
Just watching me.
Birds, they're not me. Someone else.
They're not even birds, are they? It's robots.
They're robots. It's scientific.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm calling them birds. They're robots.
Totally scientifically proven stuff here, guys. Come on. Stop being cheaper. It's all. But no, we had a running thing about birds and them being surveillance for T-shirts. It's a whole thing.
This one was from Matt Wernell. He goes, "What was your most memorable in-game moment?"
Probably that free throw I hit, or probably in-game was walking off. Was like senior night of college was pretty memorable. Walking off after that, like we had a good game and we won. I hit a game winner. That was pretty cool.
So casual about it. Oh, I hit one, but
I hit a game winner.
I hit one.
Probably that same senior year. It was the same thing. Like we were in overtime, we're in some school somewhere, and it was just like kind of just put like a post move on and score. There was like 2 seconds on the clock, so that was pretty awesome. Game time free throw, that sort of stuff.
What league did your high school play in? Like, was it AGSV, APS? What was it? Do you know by any chance? APS, yeah.
APS.
And this is another question from Joe Newitt. We sort of asked about what was your best just overall college experience?
My last year at Vanguard for sure. Like that whole senior season was a pretty amazing experience. Our team we won like 18, the first 18 games of the season or something, or maybe more, the first 20 something games of the season. And then we went to the national tournament. We should have won our conference, but we lost on a buzzer beater. Just that whole year, man, like sort of being the senior after those years of injuries, sort of coming out, being a senior leader on the team, winning a lot of games, making like national tournaments. We ended up finished the season like, I think 8th in the country or something, being ranked. So that whole year was just like an unbelievable ride with a bunch of some people who are like now my best friends. My college coach is one of my favorite people in the world. And just to do that ride with those guys was just phenomenal. Just people that like I'm going to be friends with for life. We just have a whole thing. It was just, that whole year was the tits.
Like, I think the one thing I've realized from like everyone that we've had that's gone to uni in America, like we've only been in uni for like a couple of months, but I feel like that American uni experience is like, it's something different that like, it really just something you can't compare. Yeah.
No, you especially like, I guess when you're on the team, man, like I guess something that a lot of people don't even realize, like I didn't realize this going over. I know like when people are talking to me like, oh man, I'm thinking of going to play college ball and stuff. You realize that like you'll only play basketball at most. You'll only work out at most 3-4 hours a day. You know what I mean? So you've got another 20 hours of your day you've got to fill in.
That's true.
And you got to think about like where you live, like what kind of place you're going to be. Like you're going to go live in somewhere in the middle of personally, if that is your thing, going like living in country Iowa or like Kansas, if that's your thing, go for your life. But for me, like that's not me. And like you got to, and then the other thing is like what type of people are on your team, because you live with them. Like you legitimately live with these people, so you live with them, and then you practice together, and then you'll have classes together for the most part, and then you'll hang out like off the court because you're all boys and you're all friends. So you're kind of living in each other's pockets 24 hours a day. And that's something that's pretty cool, is that I don't think you don't really get here, is that you live with your friends and you do like the whole year together. Like you're pretty much inseparable. Road trips, you'll hang out off the court. You go like, everyone will go get dinner, get movies, go see the movies. Like that experience was probably the best bit. And if you live somewhere cool and you can go and do more fun stuff, it's even better. And that's something that I think kids forget about when they go over. It's like, I'm going to go to this cool basketball place, but they forget that like, your life.
Whole place, not just the school, but the whole place. Yeah. That's why like UCLA would be mental, I reckon. Just like living in LA sort of thing.
Yeah, it would be. LA was something else. LA was, because Vanguard was in Newport, which is probably an hour and a half, or an hour and a half, depending on traffic outside of LA. And LA is just Southern California is just a cool place to be, man. It's just, UCLA should get better recruits. It's on their coach.
So this question was from our sponsors at Cremlon. They asked, what age was it when you could first dunk, and like what was your first in-game dunk? Or when was your first in-game dunk?
I guess I was 13.
Jesus.
And I think I was 14 when I got my first in-game dunk. Yeah. That was pretty cool. I remember getting on, because it would be nice. I was probably more athletic at 14 than I am now. I don't have those legs back. No, it was just like a fast break, just a cheeky one-handed rim grazer. I think I didn't shut up about it for the next like 3 weeks. I thought I was a big dog, Big dunk. I was under 16s of that, and then just pretty much it's become, that was pretty cool now. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I've spoken about with you guys that I haven't thought of in a long time. That's kind of nice. First time I dunked, I was in Noosa on a family holiday. Yeah, my auntie lives up there, and I went up and I was like basketball court, and I remember just I was trying to do it for like hours, and I finally got it.
Wow, that's crazy.
As well.
And then sort of our last question is, do you have any advice for young Australian kids who are looking to go pro in the future?
Trust yourself. Like, trust yourself and back yourself. Like, obviously, like, listen to the coaches, and coaches are super important. But when coaches say you can't do things, kind of use it as fuel. When they say, like, you can't shoot, or they say you can't do this, or you can't, like, there's no reason why you can't do it. There's no reason. It's that it's just for some reason that you've been labelled as somebody who can't do something, which isn't necessarily true in the slightest. It just means it's a weakness in your game. It's not that you have an inability or you're incapable of doing it. It's that you just haven't worked hard enough on it yet. So just get to work and work hard. You know, wake up half an hour early and do some ball handling or something. You know what I mean, in the morning, or go shoot an extra 20 minutes after practice. Like, stuff like that. Just do those things. When someone says you can't do it, don't believe them. You know, like, just don't believe them when they say you can't do it, and just work harder and prove them wrong, I guess.
Being on your craft. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for joining us, Geremy. It means a lot to us. Make sure everyone's, liking, subscribing, commenting, doing all that stuff, sharing it. Shout out to the sponsors, Cremlon, links in the description as well. And go follow all our social medias. And I think that's going to wrap it up today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Geremy, for joining us.
Easy, boys.
And peace.
Hopefully we'll have you on the season soon.
See you, fellas.
See you later.
Block. Pull up in the gold, I'm leading. But them other man need feeding. I don't wanna go Bombay. Them I don't know what I do when I go from Beeling.